men's rights advocates were trying to hold a conference when some beautiful people showed up to protest and effectively tell them to shut up. Because feminists aren't big fans of free speech ratings, comments, criticism or political discussion outside of their own. Among these violent femmes was a red-haired woman we shall just call Big Red. Let's hear what Big Red has to say, shall we?
Shall we try and get her to...
And if you listen, you, MRAs should be, if you shut the fuck up and let me read my list, there's the fucking proof.
And so I obviously can't like...
So, number one, shut the fuck up for a second. Feminists do not want you to lose custody of your children. The assumption that women are naturally better caregivers is part of patriarchy.
What are feminists doing to help men be awarded equal custody? Nothing. Your proclamation that it's caused by patriarchy infers that feminism has nothing to do with this injustice to men. Whether this is true or false, it does not invalidate the MRM fighting against this injustice. Furthermore, if feminists are in favor of men and women being given equal custody awards in divorce court, why are you arguing against the MRM? If indeed we both agree, what's the problem? I suppose we are to interpret her statement that it is strictly the fault of patriarchy as meaning that feminists are fighting for equal custody rights on behalf of men. By fighting against the evil patriarchy, it's as if she is saying once we defeat the patriarchy all the gender discrimination will magically end. Newsflash honey. There is no patriarchy, and never was in the Western world, at least not as defined by feminism. And is it just me or does she sort of look like a cross between Ronald McDonald and Wendy? Something that dawns on me, Wendy is a redhead and so is Ronald, but Dave Thomas isn't. Dave, if your wife isn't a redhead, I think she has some splaining to do. And how can you vegans look at this juicy burger from Wendy's and continue to resist meat? I know, vegans don't choose their lifestyle, they were born that way. I really must stop making videos when I'm hungry. Back to Big Red.
Feminists do not like commercials in which bumbling dads mess up the laundry and competent wives have to bustle in and fix it.
Okay, perhaps feminists don't like those commercials, but it works like this. An advertising industry is trying to market a product. Humor is a great way to advertise. Humor is often going to be based on slapstick, someone getting hit, or clumsily stumbling around, or it is going to be based on someone being stupid and clueless. Advertisers have learned that when women are the ones shown as being smacked around, feminists get outraged, so this is not good publicity. The advertisers have learned that showing the women as stupid outrages women because feminists demand that women be shown as strong and empowered at all times. Thus advertisers again don't want the feminist backlash, so when someone has to look stupid and someone has to get smacked, that someone has to be male, that leads to the portrayal of men as stupid. And physical harm to a male is comedy, physical harm to a woman is not. This is a perfect example of feminism creating gender problems where there otherwise would not have been. MRAs don't mind seeing a man as a stumbling idiot, they mind seeing men only as stumbling idiots.
Assumption that women... We're working on it and you guys are trying to dismantle it. But if you'd fucking listen...
I don't believe they do.
The MRA,
Then why are you part of the organization?
Saying that we're trying to take away their rights? How are we trying to take away their rights?
Why?
Can you shut the fuck up for a second too?
Well,
so I can
he just
my fucking
listed
list,
how they
so you guys can actually answer those questions.
Does someone have the yellow flyer with that actual quote so we can both have it in front of us?
On a website, or are these like policies on a
This
website?
is a list of the things that we're working towards. Now, if you would shut the fuck up for the 50th billionth time.
Is it just me or does she sound like Roseanne Barr?
Hey! So what? It's only the most perfectly shaped women for you, you big, hairy, toothless, sweating, cross-eyed hog! Women wrong, dirtbag!
I'm going to translate what she is effectively saying, Big Red, not Roseanne. She is saying that all of the concerns MRAs have are equally concerns of the feminists, and the feminists can't help the poor males, because this evil hate movement called the MHRM is attacking feminists so that they can't complete these tasks. Well, here's the thing, the MRM is not standing in the way of you helping men to have equal custody rights. Next time a divorce court judge awards custody to the mother, when the father had more credibility as a financially and emotionally stable parent, I invite you feminists to blog about it in outrage, and show me just one MRA who takes issue with you doing so. Stand in front of the courthouse and protest a judge who has a history of awarding custody to the mother more than the father. You go protest this judge's discrimination towards men, and you won't see even one MRA getting in your way. In fact, we'll grab a sign and help you out. And if you don't want our help, we'll at least bake some cookies for you. That's why Girl Writes What is always broadcasting from her kitchen. She is on constant 24/7 cookie standby, just waiting for the day you feminists stand up against any injustice against males.
But accept the fact that you're just too busy hating women. You can't fucking see that we're trying to actually work on those same situations.
I can't imagine context where we actually
I think.
Or are you conflating feminism, which is an ideology, with women?
So is MRA, but whatever, that's fine. Okay,
so you're a hate group against feminists. You're still a hate group.
An ideology.
A hate site against feminism. avoiceformen.com and equalitycanada.com is a hate site against feminism in the same way naacp.org is a hate site against racism. I didn't know ideologies were now a protected minority. Perhaps the white nationalists should file a complaint to the SPLC that the ADL is hating on their ideology. Then out of the matrix comes Chris Farley to be the voice of reason in an otherwise clusterfuck of Big Red yelling over top of everyone in the crowd.
I'm just kind of curious about something.
What?
That and if this comes across wrong, poor choice of words on my part, forgive me. I do have a communication disability. Okay, but what I've heard so far is frankly a lot of anger from you, which hold on, let me finish, okay? And I'm not saying we don't have a right to be angry. I think we all have a right to be angry. But what exactly is accomplished by calling people dipshits and stuff like that with the conversation?
Why? Are you serious right now?
Yes, I'm quite serious. What is the point of that? How does that?
What difference does it make?
But even an appearance from Chris Farley wasn't enough to silence Big Red. Big Red continues ad nauseum saying, "Patriarchy, I am trying to talk, would you shut the fuck up? You are a hate group and let me finish my list. Damn her and that fucking list, for God's sakes cunt, that's not a list, it's a novel. Someone really needs to do a techno mix of her incessant mentioning of patriarchy. Ah, fuck it, I'll do it."
Hating women, there's the fucking proof. Hating women, there's the fucking proof. If you would shut the fuck up for the 50th billionth time. Hating women, there's the fucking proof. Hating women, there's the fucking proof. If you would shut the fuck up for the 50th billionth time.
I hope Skrillex doesn't mind if I sampled his music to finish my techno song. What am I saying? Skrillex made a career out of sampling other people's music. And you know what else just dawned on me? Skrillex looks a lot like Darlene from Roseanne. And a few other eerie things. I used the Beautiful People sample from Marilyn Manson, and yet Big Red almost has a hairdo like Manson in his Dope Show video. The resemblance is uncanny. Also, the old lady at the protest sort of reminds me of the old lady in the Beautiful People video.
I don't know, I've never met anybody who has never.
I'm not talking.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of my video, except for a rather intellectual look at the phenomenon of MRAs and feminists both playing this game of so what are you doing to secure rights of my sex? I understand why MRAs do it, because feminists are saying, as Big Red demonstrates, that there is no need at all for the MRM because feminism is here to fight for the rights of males too, to which the MRA will ask, oh really? Name an oppressive issue to men that you feminists have actually demonstrated against. But when feminists retaliate with you're a hate group because you look out for males only, if you deny that, then show me proof of you standing up for women's rights. This becomes mindless back and forth bickering on both sides. Here are my thoughts on it. Rather than feeding all this text into my TTS and wasting 4 boring minutes of my TTS engine stumbling through these words, I am just going to flash 4 pages of text on the screen at 3-second intervals, pause, unpause to read and go to the next page, and that's it for this video.